Talking in a microphone.
Yes, right.
Let me get this one. So this here is Phillips one site, the ones you have in the Roland and the SoliVita. So my role is going to be, after you take the mandated CCC training, I'll see you every 3 months, and I have a replica AED training here. The only way you can tell the difference between these two is the trainer is a blue case. If I take them out the case, they look exactly the same. So I'll be training you on this.
And our responders, yeah.
And everything you took in the CERT training, I just want you to make sure you're absolutely confident you're not guessing your way around using this AED. It's like, automatic reaction, you're not thinking about it, second thoughts. And that's what my role is going to be. I'll volunteer to do that.
We appreciate it. Thank you so much.
We think we can do better than 0 saves and 4 uses for out a case. We think we can do better. There's a question? Yes, Mark. And Mark was one of them who came yesterday too. We're going to be talking about the different scenarios. And obviously, if the door is locked, I'm not going to suggest and recommend anybody go in. You're going to be calling 911 and have him take over, and there's nothing more we can do about that. Nobody's going to break in and enter. Same thing with a fall. There is a medical procedure that we're going to all go through. You're going to first say, are you okay? Can I lift you? Does anything hurt? You're going to go through those questions before we do it, because obviously there's sometimes people feel you got to leave them until you can get a brace on them and you get a paramedic. We know that. We're going to go all through that. We're going to have more instruction than ever before in these particular events. Yes, absolutely. Yes, Kathy? At this point, we're in discussions, both of us. The reason why I've not been able to do anything for 3 years was here for 3 hours, 4 hours earlier. Now, I want to work with everybody. I want to work with CERT. I am very much I was a proud member of CERT. I went to 3 CCC classes. I think that's marvelous. We got to take that one step further, because what we're doing right now isn't working. And I defy anybody to challenge me on that it is working. It is not. And again, if you do what you've always did, you're going to get what you always got. We can do much better with that. Kathy, what? Well, funny you ask that, because they're going to be on the same 911 dispatch as Pulse Point. Kathy, you're leading me on. Because you see, I did have a letter from the Polk County Sheriff's Police. They're in fact enthusiastic. I met with them for 2 hours with Ready Alert and with a couple other people in the Grady's office. We had a letter of support, and that was all ended with Lita Epstein calling them up and telling them not to continue to support us. So Kathy, stop, Kathy, because this is the sabotage that goes on. They were very. First of all, that's not true. I can show everybody the letter that we got. That was a very supportive. All right, you know what, Kathy.
Okay, and you're right. You're absolutely right. And I know you're right, because I called myself and I spoke to, what is the gentleman?
Scott Wilder.
Scott Wilder. I had a very nice conversation with Scott Wilder. And I will tell you what happened. What happened was Scott said they were enthusiastic about it 2-3 years ago. But he has changed his mind.
What changed, Kathy?
Wait.
I didn't say anything changed. What I said was the letter was for 3 years old.
You're right.
2023. And they came from the deputy's office, not from Polk County Fire and Rescue. And they're the ones that handle the 911 call.
Kathy, you're absolutely right. I just want to explain to you what's going on since then. Okay? Yep. So what's happened since then is,
no, you can't.
When Jim came to me to start discussing it, and I knew that could be a problem. So I took it upon myself, not as a board member, but as a private citizen, and I called Mr. Wilder up, and I had a really nice conversation with him. He informed me that their only hesitance in it is the fact that one of our board members called him up and told him that the HOA would never ever support the program. That's a fact, okay? Now, I'm gonna go further. it was at
Leave
that
Epstein.
point
She's
that I
running for the
realized
reelection. Make this.
how much the HOA did not want to be involved. They don't want nothing to do with it. That's obvious to me. Now, what Scott also told me was, after we talked even further, because he said he felt like this is a great program, he was very sad that we couldn't make this work, but the sheriff's office did not want to get into a fight with HOA people, okay? Which is, yeah, I don't blame them. You know, we all know how HOA politics is awful. That was why I came to him and said, let's do it as a private program. And that's exactly why I did it this way. And he also told me, Scott, I said to him, if I were to set this up as a private charitable organization made up of residents, would you work with us? He said, well, sheriff's office can't decide that. Kathy Sullivan has to decide that. From fire and rescue.
Okay, so let's
So-
make a point. At the last CCC class that we just had last month, Kathy Sullivan came to that class and she made it very clear that she has nothing to do with the ready alert system. And they will not combine it with
Okay.
pulse point risk.
And here's the thing, I have not talked to her yet.
I
know you have.
2 days
I
ago.
believe you have, but what I'm saying is, I haven't talked to her. And right now, we are in the early planning stages. We are getting ready to sign up the corporation, get the charitable group together. But I can tell you, having been around the block a few times, that if I go to county officials, and I go to the judge's office, and I tell them that we've done everything we need to do, and we want to help our neighbors if they have a heart attack, yeah, they'll do it. Because they're not going to tell residents that they can't be protected in their own homes. So we'll go there.
So Kathy, let me ask you directly. If there were a way that we could save more lives here, would you be interested? Thank you. That's all I wanted you to say. If there's all right, first of all, there's nobody here who can be able to defend the record. Can we all agree? 0 saves, 4 uses of the AEDs in 10 years, 960 calls. Nobody here can really defend it. There's no kickback. Again, okay, let me explain. 3 years ago, they changed their policies. $45 for the responders. Everybody else was comped. They changed their policies, which I supported 100%. Now, basically, it's a buy-in for $8 per home per year. That's what the cost is. The $45 fee that Kathy continues to talk about was for the responders to be hooked up to the network. They eliminated that, now it's $8. Kathy, you want to sit down and talk to me, I'll be happy to talk to you over and over again and explain what we're doing, because you never gave me an opportunity before, and that's part of it.
Jim, I'd be more than willing to talk to you if you can.
Let me give you one more example, and then I'm going to hand the microphone away. Because again,
Well,
what
can
we've...
I just say one more thing then? There's no point in us fighting, and there's no point in us worrying about what happened 2 or 3 years ago. We're beyond that now. We're beyond it, and we're just trying to,
But the program is keep trying to push through.
well, we're still going for this program.
Right.
We are. And as far as the county getting involved, obviously, if we can't get everything done and set up, this program will happen.
We still will have the app. We still have an app.
Let's not waste time rehashing old history. It's done. It's over. Let's please move on. And that's all I'm saying. And that is a great question. That is absolutely true. And that's why we're saying a January start date. Because first, we were trying to work with the HOA. Jim especially. He's got his heart set on working with the HOA. But, let me finish. But I don't think that's going to happen, honestly. So I said, we've got to move on. So, like I said, we will have a private charitable organization that will run this program. We have to set that up. Once we set that up, we will go through we will do all our policy policies, procedures, everything. This woman is amazing. I mean, she's got a PhD in organizational management. So, and she sits on our board. We will have all of that, and we'll have multiple, that's our recording today. We will have multiple recordings of everything for you. Okay, I promise you that. Before we start anything. This is just the beginning stages. This is it. But we'll have it.
What documentation do you want? Let me show you what they've done in the villages. For example, for the 6-month period. Now, wait a minute.
Let her finish.
Okay.
Don't be so rude.
And look, I want to work with anybody who wants to work with me. I believe very strongly in CERT. I believe very strongly in the CCC classes. I wish they would believe in what we're doing. You know, so again, we're trying to work together. I'm not trying to tear apart anybody. We're trying to work together. If, in fact, you have a cardiac arrest and the first person on the scene is from Ready Alert, you can wave them off. You can wave them off and wait for somebody else to come. But again, that's unfortunate. Let me just end with one story, which gives you an idea. I met with Denise Tasco from San Moritz because I want to answer a question that hasn't been asked. What do you do at 12 o'clock midnight when you get a cardiac arrest and call? And I said to them, I says, do you have your rovers? Are they trained in CPR? And she says, yes. I says, do you have an AED available? She says, every rover has one in the trunk. So I asked, how do you know that somebody needs an emergency? She said, are you ready for this? We'll follow the ambulance. I said to her, we are going to, I was going to say, you know what? How about having an ejection seat in the helicopter? You know, the important thing is, I said, we're going to hook you up to 911, our Ready Alert. Lita Epstein killed that too.
Thank you.
Remember that from the election. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.